Kind of makes me feel a part of something that I wasn't a part of before.
This camp helps a lot with stepping out of your comfort zone and being able to take a stand.
It's really eye-opening to see that so many other people have so many different talents. I've still got so much left to learn.
The Youth Development Network is in the business of transforming lives, helping young people transition from where they're at now to where they want to be. We do this by focusing on what are the 5 supports and opportunities that young people need, and how do we do that using a strength-based lens. So we work closely with the Gallup Clifton Strength Finder instrument and Strengths Quest instruments.
The opportunity to go to leadership camp, and not all school districts or schools have this opportunity, is amazing. And it is life-changing for students to be able to be viewed as a leader and understand what their strengths are.
This is a strength-based camp, and what we do is we know what our deficits are, we know what our weaknesses are, but do we know what our strengths are? What I mean by strengths or talents, how are we naturally wired to think, feel, and behave, and how can we own those things and aim them at success?
What I think a lot of people do with youth is they say, wait until you're older, right? We're preparing you for the future. Focus on being a student. You'll be a leader. You'll achieve something after college or whatever arbitrary life point we set. But with youth development and with YDN, it's you right now are good. You right now are a leader. You don't need to wait for the future. There are opportunities for you at this moment. And so by giving them those opportunities, it's not even you can be a leader, it's you are a leader currently at this moment. And that's so different than a lot of the ways that people talk about youth and think about youth.
Some of the things that we've seen from the work that students have done with YDN is that they've developed plans around things like anti-bullying, things around improving school climate as it relates to improving how students engage with each other, how students treat each other, how they should feel about just school in general, keeping a positive outlook on being at school and trying to make their community a better place to learn.
Camps change lives. There's no doubt about it. Every year, we see the impact that it has on young people. We hear it from them. These programs aren't standalone programs, and so you get to see the change that camp has made on a young person throughout the year that follows camp, and it's just amazing.
My name is Elena Smith. I'm 13 years old, and I'm a soon-to-be 8th grader, and I go to Westside Preparatory Charter School. My favorite activity was the ropes courses, even though I'm deathly scared of heights. I think it was fun to try something new. It was fun to cheer other people on, and this helps me when I go back home to know that it's good to stay out of your comfort zone and you don't have to get on every single thing to be strong as a person. So next year is going to be my 3rd year, and I'm going to become a facilitator.
A facilitator is somebody who helps guide somebody else. They facilitate the process of learning about something, like the strengths and more about themselves. And I think that's what's really cool about this camp, is that as a facilitator, you get to help these kids learn more about themselves and what they can do with their strengths.
The facilitators that we have this year were camp participants last year, and if you saw them last year, or even you watched the video, you just see how much they've grown. And helping young people find their strengths at an early age and really hone in on what they're good at and how to develop those talents and how to put themselves in a place to be successful and to see more success through working through their talents is just, it's life-changing. It's a different way of looking at life, and it's a successful way of looking at life, and it's a way that helps people stay positive and really go where they're supposed to go where they're meant to go where they're good at. And I think that's a mentality that everybody needs to have. And the younger we can instill that in people or help them realize that, the better off they're gonna be, the better off their communities are gonna be, and the better off the world is gonna be.
When I became a facilitator last year, I didn't really notice the impact I had. Like, everyone's watching and what you do influences others, and even if you're a facilitator or not, that's still the case. And it's really insane how much you can change someone just by being who you are.
we've grown so much because as a camper, you experience things you have never experienced before. It's a life-changing experience. Well, this year, as a facilitator, I've changed because I matured up, and you get to teach stuff now, and you just feel so good when you're actually doing it.
Every single one of these campers has got that opportunity, has got that skill, and has got that idea and that mindset that they can, if they really wanted to and push themselves and applied themselves to this camp, that they could definitely become a facilitator.
The students come up with the school that they envision, but that's one thing to have a dream. It's another thing to try to work toward that dream and set goals and accomplish it. So what YDN helps us when we have the vision of how great our school can be, they help the students walk through the process of actually making it happen.
Just yesterday, a young lady came up to me and she said, something's different. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I thought she was talking about the camp or the food. She's like, no, something's different here right now. I don't know what's going on, but I'm really understanding that I'm worth something, that I have so much that I can accomplish. And I haven't really looked at myself that way up until today in this camp. And I just did everything I could to keep it together and not cry, because that's what this is about. So many young people are gifted beyond belief, but they're not given the opportunity to shine. And I would say this camp allows for people to shine and go home and shine even brighter.
Camp has completely and totally changed my life. I was a camper 2 years ago, and I got to learn more about myself in those 3 or 4 days than I did in 15 years of my life. It's just completely changed who I am because it brought out a confidence in me that I never had before.
I never realized the impact that this camp would have on students or on myself. I never knew that it was going to be in depth and that it would not only challenge myself but challenge my students to find the positive things in us and our strengths, and it would help us kind of begin to peel those insecurities and begin to grow and strengthen in other areas.
I'm kind of shy sometimes, so I don't make that much friends. And here, I made a lot of new friends. Kind of makes me feel a part of something that I wasn't a part of before.
They're good enough to change the world. So youth development and YDN give them that opportunity without having to wait 4, 5, 6, 10 years until we decide that they're old enough to do it. That's great.
You need someone to take the action of doing something to change your school and change the environment that you're in. And I think it'd be cool if they did have a camp to know that you are strong as a person, and it's good to come here and have people influence them to say you're not alone, you are strong, you have strengths. Yes, you have weaknesses, turn them into strengths. So I think that every school should have something like this, show the kids that are dealing with things that they are not alone and that they are strong.
I feel like I am an individual. I feel like my voice is one of the most heard at camp. And it's a great way to find new friends. It's an overall amazing experience.